Are you someone who suffers from anxiety attacks or panic attacks whenever you're in front of the camera trying to film something or trying to present something when you're at work or at school? This was me a couple of years back. And look at me now. I'm actually in front of this camera and talking to you today without having any attacks. How is this possible, you may ask? Well, in this video, I'll tell you exactly how I was able to recognize my triggers as well as bypass them in order to be able to present in front of a big group of people and even start my YouTube channel. But before we get into the nitty-gritty details, I just want to introduce myself in case you are new to the channel. Welcome. My name is Rehana, and I am a crochet artist and owner behind Raised Crochet Land, which is, of course, this small YouTube channel, as well as an actual small business. So this channel is all about business, small business more specifically, how it is run in the backgrounds, behind the scenes, market prep, market vlogs, as well as videos like this, where I give you tips and tricks on how to get over your fears and how to start a small business. Without further ado, let's get into this video. Okay, so number one, the first thing that you need to ask yourself is, what are your fears? What are your triggers? What happens inside your mind at that time, right before you feel like you're gonna have an attack? What is going through your mind at that time? What are the fears that are starting to pop up? I want to share with you one very big moment in my life when I realized that I had panic or anxiety attacks. It was the first time that it had ever happened to me at that level. And if you've never had a panic or an anxiety attack before, you don't know what it feels like, or you just want to confirm that this is what it feels like to have a panic attack or an anxiety attack, then this may help you. So give me a couple of minutes. I'll tell you exactly what happened and what really marked me and the exact moment when I thought I had to make some changes about this. So I was there about to present. They had called my name. I stood up. My heart was beating so fast. I thought it was going to just jump out of my chest and I was going to die. I still found my way up the stairs onto that stage. And you guys, I could not remember at all what I was there to do, what I was there to present, what the topic it was that I was supposed to be presenting about. And that was so embarrassing. And I remember feeling so guilty, that my teacher was right there and I was letting her down. Like, she had so much faith in me, this teacher, and I loved her so much. And I know she loved me too. But anyways, I was there. I was in front of this crowd. The light was shining on me. I was blinded by it. Like, I could not see the people. And yet I knew that there were so many eyes on me. And that was the time when I started having the panic attack. Like I said, I forgot what I was there to talk about, although I had spent so much time preparing for this, right? And everything had gone well during the preparation. I didn't know what had happened to me when I went onto that stage and I forgot everything. But thank God, I had a backup and I had written down all of the points on a piece of paper and I just took it out of my pocket, right? My heart was still beating fast. Thank God I could read, but I was reading like a robot. Like, I was not presenting. I was not talking to you like I'm talking to you right now. While I was reading off the page, my eyes were going blurry. Like, I was having such a hard time trying to read the stuff off of the paper. I could feel all of the eyes on me. I could feel my heartbeat in my ears. I was gasping for air so much and I was struggling to finish this presentation so much that someone actually came up the stairs, directed me off the stage, and sat me down in a seat. I don't remember where. It was someplace in the theater. I don't know if it was a chair, if it was with the crowd where I was, or even on the stairs. I don't remember. I was so out of it. But this is basically what it feels like to have an anxiety or panic attack. So how do we get over this? What I found out was that we need to figure out what our fears are, what our triggers are, what goes on through our minds just before we feel this anxiety attack. And it can be very hard because, to be honest, with what happened with me, when I was sitting down and looking at others presenting, I was not even thinking about me actually going to present. It was when my name was called. I felt the rush of blood. I felt the heartbeat. I could feel it in my chest. I could feel it in my ears as well. that was the first thing, the swoosh that I felt. And that was kind of like the start. It's hard to go back and to really analyze and think about what was really going on through my mind because it's been so long ago. But what I figured out was that I had to find out basically what my fears were and what triggered my panic attacks. Thinking back, for me, it was really being ridiculed because I was in high school, I was in grade 12. It was the fear of also failing because my teacher had so much faith in me and I felt like I had to nail this. Otherwise, like I will be letting her down. It was having all of those eyes on me, all of those people just looking at me, and I had to deliver and finish the presentation. And it had to be a good presentation because of all of the expectations.
Hey everyone, my battery died on both of my mics, so I'm gonna have to rely on my phone mic to be able to finish this video. So hopefully you can hear me fine. During editing, I'm probably gonna have to increase the volume of this video anyways, but I hope you don't mind that I'm up and personal with you on the screen. Number 2, it is about figuring out what does not trigger your anxiety or panic attack. Once you've figured out what your triggers are, you need to figure out what does not trigger you in similar situations. Taking my example, although I wear the scarf and everything, I'm actually a singer. And before I started wearing my scarf, I used to sing at parties, at concerts, even when I was at school for music day. Now I also sing at weddings, even with my scarf on and everything. I realized that when I was on stage and I was singing, that there was no stammering. It was just very different for me. For some reason, when I went on stage to sing, I did not have any anxiety or panic attacks. So why was that? I started realizing a few things. When it came to singing on stage, I would have tons and tons of practice to be able to hit the right note with the right pitch. For me, I realized that it was the kind of practice that I was doing when I was singing that would give me self-confidence to go out there and to sing. And that's why I did not have those anxiety attacks or panic attacks whenever I would go on stage to sing, is because of my confidence, right? My confidence was way high when I was going to sing on stage than when I was going to present. Number 3 is analyzing the difference between what triggers your attacks and what does not trigger your attacks. What I would do is I would record myself singing, maybe not on video, but I would record my voice and I would listen to myself. And after listening myself, I would try and get better at it. So I would record myself yet again, just to make sure that everything was just perfect for the day of. And that was the difference, because I had practiced, I had recorded. And recording myself was exactly what made the difference between those two situations. So in order to get over my fear of failing, in order to increase my confidence whenever I went and presented at work, at school, or even on camera here, I started just recording myself, okay? For everything that I did, everything that I needed explaining, or even when I was, if I had something to do for work, I would turn on the camera and I would talk to the camera and I would try and make sure that it is perfect. And I would try and make sure that, I was capturing everything that I needed to capture. I was coming off normal. Now, when I go in to present or when I am talking to the camera, it just feels so natural. And that is because I have done it so many times over that it's just become a habit now. So even now, just talking in front of the camera and just looking at myself, or even just hearing my voice and looking at myself after I've recorded it, like even while editing and stuff, it's just normal to me. And even when I'm in front of a big crowd, for me, it's just so easy because I'm so used to talking now and I'm so used to articulating my words by myself. I'm actually in my head and it feels like I have a camera in front of me and it feels like I'm talking to someone because I can see myself. And although that's kind of cringe and that's weird, believe me, it does help. Just seeing someone in front of you instead of a camera or something. And that's what helped me too. It's just, I'm on my phone right now and how I record is that I have the screen facing so that when I'm looking into the camera, it feels like I'm looking at someone and like I'm talking to someone. Of course, it's just myself, but it just helps me in my mind. And I think it might help you as well. Whenever I go in to a meeting to present or whatever at work now, I actually have this picture in my head that, hey, you know, like I'm just so used to seeing somebody looking at me while I'm talking and while I'm presenting, while I'm trying to share something, that now whenever I go into a meeting room, it's just so easy for me to kind of like look around, not have any anxiety or panic attacks anymore. I'm just so used to it now. And this is exactly how recording yourself can help you. And I can't say this enough. It is not going to happen overnight. It takes practice. It takes some time. It takes listening to yourself over and over again, just so that you're so used to seeing yourself and listening to yourself afterwards that at one point in time, it's just going to feel so natural and you would know that you are over it now. And keep in mind, it is different for everyone. As long as you're working towards it, you're taking one little step towards it, you're improving it by even 1 or 2% every time that you're doing it. It will take some time. Everyone has their own pace. You don't have to worry about me, that it took me, you know, like a couple of years, which felt like forever. Even if for you, it takes 5 years, 10 years, or however many years, it doesn't matter. And you even don't need to be perfect. All that needs to happen is for you to see someone staring right back at you, which feels really weird. And my husband just also came in and he's just praying right now. He just came in and I'm still a little shy in front, like filming in front of him. These are two different things, but at least it has taken away my fear of filming, of talking in front of the camera or talking to somebody else, presenting something. If you would like to see kind of like the results of all of this practice, I'm going to pop a video right here for you to watch. It is market prep and market vlogging for you to see how I have improved all of the years that I have practiced doing this. So go ahead and watch that video. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope that it has helped you.